I've lived in Fresno my whole life. Out of high school, I just, on a whim, decided I thought being a sign guy would be a good idea, so I started up A+ Signs. We've been in business for about 28 years, and we do electric, architectural, commercial signs, and it's a fun business. We do several corporate accounts. We do Habit Burger Grill signs all over the state. We do all the Costco signs anywhere in the world. There's a new Costco, we build their sign and ship it out. After I left Catholic school and went on for 1 year at Cooper Junior High, the next year I was a sophomore at Fresno High School, and that's where I met Ben Lester. And Ben was the campus life director there. The thing about Ben was that he just took personal interest in me, kind of took me under his wing. I never felt that I can boldly approach God. God was back there behind the railing. And so I just remember those quiet times with Ben in that little red church and that Bible study. And that's where I really came to know the Lord, through the ministry of Youth for Christ. The thing about Youth for Christ was that all the staff across the whole city, they weren't professional clergy. They were just guys. They were just guys and girls who loved the Lord, who took the time to meet individual kids right where they were. And you could see that all across the city, kids at Bullard, kids at Hoover, Fresno High. And I just feel like that's the real legacy of Youth for Christ, is that it provided the platform for those individual people to meet kids right where they were at with the love of Jesus. Even though they weren't perfect people, they weren't ministers, they weren't clergy, they were just guys who loved the Lord. And that's the power of it, I think.
In my life, I have been heavily involved since I was a teenager in Youth for Christ. First as kind of a recipient of the ministry of Youth for Christ, but then as a big advocate of its ministry. So I've seen its impact on the total Fresno area. And so I certainly affirm the continuation of that ministry in central Fresno. That's vitally important. But also there are great spiritual needs in North Fresno as well that I think now Youth for Christ is positioned to have a higher impact in the North Fresno area. Man, we've got to make that happen. It's really important.
We need to raise up student leaders. If we don't help develop in our kids a sense of responsibility, then we lose a great opportunity.
And as our city grows, we have to move with our population. And so it's exciting to know that Youth for Christ is going to be expanding to the northern part of our city without abandoning the southern part of the city, and that's important. And so it's important that we're able to take Youth for Christ to wherever the people are, wherever our youth are, so that we can introduce them to our Savior.
That experience working with those kids gave me a real passion for disadvantaged kids, and now we take teams down to Haiti every year. We do a ministry down there with a school and a church and an orphanage. And I think the ministry of Youth for Christ has just built into me a heart for kids. About 8 or 10 years ago, I was serving on the deacon board at my church. And over the period of time, I had asked all the deacons on the board, there are 10 of us, and I said, share your testimony. And over the course of months, 5 out of the 10 deacons on our board had come to know the Lord through the ministry of Youth for Christ. What Youth for Christ is doing today is just a mirror of what you've been doing for 70 years. And that is providing a platform. You know, it doesn't look the same, it doesn't have the same face, but providing a platform for young people who love the Lord to meet with other young people who love the Lord and share life with them and share the gospel with them. So I think it's hugely important to continue to support what Youth for Christ is doing because of the impact it's had on my life.